Good morning all. Just following up on this video on the CarPlay. So this is how it works. 2010 model Range Rover Sport, native system still installed. The CarPlay is piggybacked into it via an auxiliary port somewhere in the back here by magic. Car's just locked me in, which is nice. So what I'll do now is unlock the car, sitting in it, and turn it on. So I'll start it, and it's thinking about what it's going to do. So it produces the standard screen. You can either agree to this and just so it fires up, so when you're driving, if you want to use a native system you can, or alternatively you can just use this nav button to push it once, and it's, you know, you've got to agree. Push it once, it'll give you the navigation thing. Push it again, it gives you the NAVI Plus CarPlay. So the system itself is pretty good. Like it does everything that the normal CarPlay does, and you'll see it's quite good with when you're using the buttons. The music, the sound is quite good. Probably can't hear it. It's just the same as the original one. Excellent. So stop that. Then we go back. I'll go back to one of these home screens. Now this is the bit that they talk about where the screen's not so sensitive. So to scroll across, normally I just put my finger and push. With this one, you see it's not quite as good. So you can slowly hit your finger on and then move it. Just push your finger down. Let your finger sit there for a minute. Oh, hold on. You can do that. You see how it's not so intuitive, but if you actually push the buttons, it's all good. So what they suggest that you do is you just use the dots at the bottom to navigate. So you can see if you push those dots at the bottom, it's no problem. So it can be a bit clunky trying to get it to shift across from one screen to the next. So you just need to be a little bit more, just maybe a little slower with it, and maybe go to the edges of the screen with it rather than try and do it from the middle of the screen. Because when I try and do it here, oh no, it's still, it isn't quite I've probably got my finger on there quite firmly. Here we go. You can see it just sometimes is a bit stubborn, and that's what they talk about. But the buttons on the bottom are all fine, and they work. You know, you can get through it pretty quickly if you want to. You just hit the buttons on the bottom. That's what I do. Essentially, it gives you the CarPlay, so that to me is a big benefit. Now the thing with the phone calling is you've got your steering wheel, and this was an added extra to get the steering wheel function on it. So with the steering wheel, if you want to answer a telephone call, because of the inbuilt Bluetooth telephone, if you answer the call from the NAVI Plus screen, like if you just push answer the call or whatever, it's not happy. You need to answer the call using these keys here using the keys on the original on the steering wheel. I don't know why that is, but yeah, you need to answer the calls, and I also end the calls off the steering wheel. The other thing, these buttons all work okay. So volume up and down works all right. You've got track forward works all right, but if you are listening to music and you want to go track back, you've got to use that key on the wheel, the hang up the phone one. But look, I would say yes, it is a little bit quirky, but for me it was really good because I didn't need to attack the dash, and I wanted to keep the car as standard as possible. I don't find it very hard to put up with the quirkiness of it. Some people it might annoy the shit out of. But for me, to be able to use the Google Maps on this system, and the other functions of the CarPlay, which I'm really familiar with, I find it really good. I find the stereo sound is, well, it's just basically just, instead of Bluetoothing from your phone to the stereo, the Harman Kardon system, it just uses it via this. But I would say, for the money that I spent on it, we've had it for quite a while now, and yeah, we're pretty happy with it. So any questions you've got about the video, just PM me or ask me or whatever. But yeah, I'd say it's not a bad system, and it's also a wireless CarPlay too. So when you get the system if you buy it from NAVI Plus and they install it or whatever, you get one USB port put into the put in here into your whatever it is, the box, and it's right down the bottom. They put the port right down the bottom somewhere you can't hardly see it. It's right down in there. That's the one that NAVI Plus put in, and it doesn't really charge the phone. It sort of offers it a very minimal shitty charge, or you can, what I do is I just use the original accessory one, put my phone in, chuck my phone in the center console and plug it into that, and it gives you the ordinary charge. So yeah, hope that works for you. Any questions, yeah, just shoot them to me. Okay, thanks, bye.